Hey guys, let me tell you about my cousin Brad in Second Bedroom Studio. He offers recording, mixing, mastering, original composition, voiceover recording, music production, and much more. If you're in the Chicago area, on a budget, and need professional music production, then Brad's your guy. If you want to be an A-lister like The Miz, make the Brock Lesnar of the underground music scene your guy. Check out secondbedroomstudio.com.
Welcome to episode 12 of Did You Write This Shit, Bro? I'm Morpheus, and as usual, I've got Pops and James with me tonight.
What's up?
It's James E.
Oh, Jesus.
Well,
Here we go.
Right off the top, I want to give a shout out to our artist, Mookie, for our cover art. Thank you very much, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is pretty sweet.
All right, the first thing that we have to go over this week is WWE Backlash that was on Sunday.
Well, what did you all think of it?
I thought the overall show was a little bit meh.
I liked it a lot, but it did run a little long.
I mean, the best match on the whole card, I think, was Miz versus Seth, in my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And overall, it was just another, basically, it was a super show of Raw and SmackDown, as far as I'm concerned, because nothing really of any consequence happened.
Yeah, there wasn't any belts that changed hands, were there?
Nope.
Well,
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. I mean, you might be right with the Miz match, but AJ had a good match, and like that first one, Bailey at Ruby. I mean, that was a great match too.
I skipped the pre-show.
Say full disclosure, I also didn't watch the pre-show.
Oh, really? Let's see.
Yeah.
In that match, Ruby showcased like 4 signature moves. She put on a great match. Bailey's great at selling moves. She did miss another springboard or something. Surprise, surprise. But Ruby beat her clean, which I wasn't expecting. There was a move where she put her feet around her head from the turnbuckle and pulled her feet in towards the turnbuckle. I don't think I'd ever saw that before. I was impressed with Ruby. And I even forgot it wasn't on the main show. I thought it was a great thing. There was also a really good important promo on the pre-show. I didn't write it down. I don't know.
Couldn't have been that important.
Yeah, I remember thinking, I need to remember this, and then there it goes. So maybe I'll remember.
Well, I'll have to go back and check out that pre-show match then.
Yeah, the first show on the main card was Seth and Miz for the IC Championship.
I mean, I can tell you why they had these guys open.
Because it was a fantastic match.
I mean, oh my goodness. There was a lot of different things that went on, but I really thought that they both really told a story during their match, and a lot of people don't do that anymore. But what I don't understand is, why are we in the era of shitting on finishing moves? Because I feel like when a guy like Seth Rollins takes 3 or 4 skull-crushing finales, kicks out of every single one of them, but then Miz can't kick out of one curb stomp. I mean, what are we saying about Miz's finisher?
And see, that's literally the thing I thought too. Because when he hit that skull-crushing finale, I thought, well, that's it. Nobody kicks out of that. And they did. And then when he hit the second one, me and my buddy, just kind of looked at each other like, well, that's that. And then it wasn't. Right. So I was really surprised at that too. But I do think they were both on top of their game.
Yeah, I was also puzzled at the amount of skull-crushing finales that Miz hit, and they didn't pick up the win for him. Really, do they not view that move as being worth a damn at this point?
Well, not only that, but his other finishing move too was reversed and gotten out of the figure 4. Which, I have a question for both of you. If Flair does a figure 4 and Charlotte does a figure 8, when Miz goes up on his hands, is that a figure 6?
That would stand to be logical, I suppose.
No, Pops, it's not a figure 6. It's a figure 4. Just let it be. And then, see, I also, after that, the knee into the turnbuckle thing, I thought the figure 4 was going to win it because he was in it for a long time.
Right?
Right. Yeah, that knee into the turnbuckle was brutal.
And I'll tell you what, like, The Miz sold the reversal of the figure 4 great. Because from what I've heard, Flair even said himself that it doesn't do shit. It doesn't hurt. It like literally doesn't hurt at all. But I mean, he sold it like it did, and then the whole time I'm thinking like, I don't remember very often somebody like reversing the figure 4, and then the guy who put the figure 4 on actually reversing it back, and we saw a little bit of that. I mean, I'm sure it's happened before, but for whatever reason at that moment I was like, come on, Miz, just friggin' tap his ass out. Like, I don't care about CrossFit Jesus right now. Like, you know, let's get rid of him. Well, whatever.
Yeah, at this point, I think with this over, as Seth is, one loss isn't really gonna hurt him.
Yeah, but losing a title would. Because you got to think, the IC title on Raw is the title on Raw.
Oh, absolutely, because Brock has the others hostage.
So we'll get a little bit into my irritation with Seth Rollins when we get to Raw, but
all right. Then we had Nia Jax defeating Alexa Bliss to retain the Raw Women's Championship.
I actually thought it was a hell of a lot better of a match than I was expecting. I really thought that Nia was just going to come out and squash Alexa, and that did not happen.
Yeah, she actually mounted some offense, and that's something else in that. I don't think I'd ever saw this move before either. Alexa was on the turnbuckle, and Nia had her back to her, and she flipped her over her head onto her back, and it looked devastating, almost like a remnant of an Alabama Slam kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I just hadn't remembered seeing that, so it just looked really awesome to me, and I know there's a lot to do with the size, you know, and that made it work or whatever, but it's just cool to me seeing these women do things that I either don't remember or I have never seen.
Yeah, the women in the last week have pulled out like 15 different things that I've never seen before as far as movesets go. It really is crazy and awesome what they're doing.
Right. It's definitely nice to see the women doing things that either the men can't do or just don't.
Or won't.
Yeah.
Or can't.
Yeah, and just like looking at the card, I know the Ruby Riott match was pre-show, but between that one, this one, and then to jump ahead, the Charlotte and Carmella, you know, they had a true story there, too. I mean, some of the best matches on this card were women's matches, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, me too. And it's been that way for a long time. I really, really, really wish that they would have been able, and I know I want to go backwards, but I wish they would have been able to perform at the Greatest Rumble, because that would have just given a whole nother platform for young women to see what's possible, especially with the progress that they're going for. But no, I've been really impressed with the women a lot lately.
And actually, I'm going to bounce off that sentiment for a second there, Pops. Sure, it didn't happen this year, but with the progress that the Saudis are trying to make over the next 10 or so years, maybe in 4 or 5 years, we'll actually see a women's match at the Rumble there.
I don't know, because they can make progress for women's rights, but they're not going to change their views and their religion. And I know a big problem that I heard that the Saudis had was one or two of WWE's trucks that were over there that had the women on without, you know, showing, you know, cleavage.
Right.
I guess. I mean, it's nothing to us here, but that's a huge deal over there. So, I mean, I hope we get to see it. I just don't know.
That's why I'm saying not obviously not next year, but maybe 4, 5, 6 years down the line, maybe we'll get a match. Maybe.
Right.
All right. Then we had Jeff Hardy defeating Randy Orton to retain the United States Championship.
Tell you what, Jeff is putting in some work.
My God.
I mean, just every week, every time he's in a match, there's something crazy going on and putting on great matches. I was actually surprised that Orton lost it. I don't know why, but I was.
You mentioned that last week there, James, that Jeff does things that just make the dude seem fearless. Don't get me wrong. All of the male and female stars do some things that there's no way in hell I could do. But Jeff just seems to go above and beyond.
Yeah, but where does he go from here?
I think he just has to have that one spot every match that he does, because I think we're expecting it at this point.
Yeah, it's just he's had spots in the last just this week alone that are like, damn, dude, you ain't gotta go like that. Like when he went and missed the cardiac arrest. I mean, he hit that man hard.
Yeah,
like it knocked the wind out of me.
But I don't think that Orton hit a RKO this match, did he?
no.
Now he would have won if he did, because that's the one move they don't shit on. I don't think anybody's kicked out of an RKO in the last 2 years, 3 years.
I don't know. I thought it was just kind of weird, especially being, it's still a pay-per-view, so you expect to see the top moves, and that's one of the top moves right now.
Right, but that's where I think they did a good job not throwing out the RKO, especially if they were going to keep the title on Jeff, because if he hits the RKO and Jeff Hardy kicks out of it, then everybody else realistically should be able to kick out of it. I just think I've always been of that mindset that a finisher is a finisher and it should finish.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of cool back in the day. I think we talked about it, with Rock and Stone Cold kicking out of each other's finisher, but it added to the drama of that match. And that by the time we got to that WrestleMania match, everybody probably, I don't want to talk for people I don't know, but everybody in the company, and I think most fans were so emotionally invested in that, it almost needed that just to add more drama. But now they just do it willy-nilly.
Yeah, but he could have put his foot under the rope or something like that. I don't know, it was just kind of weird we didn't see it at all.
Then we had Daniel Bryan defeating Big Cass by submission.
As much as I want to, are we really going to skip the debacle that happened before this? James, do you want to talk about the bullshit that happened?
Well, you can call it bullshit if you want to, but it was probably my favorite spot of the night.
It was entertaining. But we still only had all those dudes and 3 women.
Oh, yeah.
What would you think I was talking about? Because I was talking about this Elias and then the Jose bullshit.
Yeah, I was too. I was more thinking about Elias than anybody else.
Oh,
but
no.
I will tell you, the way that Elias controlled that entire situation, the way that it felt like he was molding it and he was carrying it, I believe he's my new favorite male superstar.
Yeah, I'll give you that because he really did carry that whole segment. But I just was like, come on. Like, okay, you already made Titus a goof because they keep showing the Titus World Slide, all week. But then you're going to include Bobby Roode in it. And that to me, I was like, that's where it fell apart for me, was when Bobby came out. And then danced with the Congo line. It just ruined it there for me.
Yeah, I would have been fine with Rude coming out and hitting Elias, but when he joined the Congo line, I'm like, really, dude? Don't fucking do this shit.
I mean, it was fun for the crowd and everything. I just was not.
It's one of those situations. If you're going to do that for the crowd, again, hit him with your DDT, and then cut the commercial, even though it's the freaking network and you shouldn't have commercials. But that's beside the point. And give the Congo line with Bobby Roode spot to the audience there at the arena, not on TV.
Yeah, and he just danced like the whitest dude ever. I mean, he's dancing like your 55-year-old uncle that's too drunk at a wedding or something. I mean,
I ain't gonna lie, that's how I dance.
Yeah, see, he pulled his gown or his robe up once, and everybody kind of woo, and then he proceeds to do it like 10 more times. Like, that was the low point of that entire thing, was watching Rude fumble around. I hated seeing Elias take that move right before it was all over, but yeah, it was awesome. I don't know why Titus is with Jose or whatever, but I don't understand a lot of things, I guess.
I guess they just had to get him on the pay-per-view so they could show the world's light again. I don't know.
Trying to get guys
But it was a
paid.
really long promo.
Yeah, it was. Okay, now I'll let you go.
Then we had Daniel Bryan defeating Big Cass by submission.
You know, I think I read in our Wrestle Talk chat that Cass just isn't going to get anywhere.
No.
I mean, when they're chanting, "We want Enzo," how is he going to get away from that?
He's not.
You have y'all saw anything about Enzo doing anything?
He retired.
My understanding is he was cleared of all charges. And honestly, if it was me, nope, never mind. I'm not even going to say that.
Well, I just don't know why he's
You'd
not.
sue for wrongful termination, wouldn't you? Because I would.
Absolutely.
Because they terminated him for the simple fact that it was just accused,
They
and then
publicly shamed the
nothing.
man on their website.
Yes, they did. Yep.
Well, there's arbitration, things like that. When you sign, you're agreeing to whatever happens. So that's, as far as red tape goes, there's probably no possibility. But
Well,
I don't know. It's kind of weird that he's not on the indie scene somewhere. He's not even on social media.
But the thing is that WWE literally shit all over his name on their website, on their Twitter, everywhere over this quote unquote rape charge. Nobody wanted to touch him because all of them have women in their locker rooms, so nobody wanted to touch him. And then I don't even think that there was an apology issued after he was cleared of everything.
if there was, I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's just swept under the rug. We'll forget about him. Now Enzo was a problem in the locker room, and that was a very apparent and talked about from everybody before this even came up. That might be an issue with why he's not on the Indies, but as far as I heard, he officially retired.
But as far as the match goes, I mean, it just really is fun seeing Daniel Bryan because he has such a different style than anybody else out there. I didn't realize how much I did miss him. But the best part of this entire match segment, this time period right here, was Corey Graves. He is so fun. He says all of his little one-liners or whatever, but he said that Daniel Bryan wouldn't have a chance if tan was a skill.
That was great.
Yeah, I was like pushing my buddy. I'm like, did you hear what he said?
A couple of weeks ago, I said something that you guys kind of gave me that WTF look when I said that Corey Graves is like the modern day Bobby the Brain Heenan. I threw that up on Twitter, and it went over pretty damn good with people. I mean, you got to admit, he's not Bobby Heenan. He's not going to be Bobby Heenan. But who else do we have right now that's throwing out one-liners and little snarky-ass comments like the Brain did?
Don't get me wrong. I love Corey. I don't think he's quite ready for that type of comparison. Could he get there in 2, 3, 4, 5 years? Absolutely. I just don't think he's there yet.
Yeah, well, I'm not ready to be Conrad Thompson, but in about 20, 50 years, I might be. But, golly.
Well, I don't know. Just he plays off Byron Saxton so well because Byron will say something and then Corey just digs into him.
Shut up, Saxton.
Yeah, he just keeps going. And then Mike Tom trying to do his play-by-play commentary, and Corey shits all over him too. So it really is great.
Here's the thing, though. Are they friends, and is he doing it to be funny, or are we going to find out in 6 months that he's a bully, and then freaking Mort's going to hate him?
If he's a bully, then I'll shit all over him. Absolutely.
I don't know. I think they all have a great working relationship. It seems like they do.
Yeah. Well, especially on Raw with him and Coach. It's like, Jesus. I'm waiting for Coach just to reach over and smack the shit out of him. But
Coach
I like
deserves
the dynamic. I like Coach.
Yeah.
I think half of my issue with that other situation that you're referencing there, Pops, is the fact that the bully was a known bully for many, many years.
I like JBL.
Then we had Carmella defeating Charlotte Flair, retaining the SmackDown Women's Championship clean.
Thank you. I was going to say, you got to add that she cleanly did it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It was a clean win. No bullshit.
Don't talk to me.
You know what made me mad, though? What made me mad was that she had to get it off of a roll-up, and Charlotte couldn't come down to a level beneath her to tap out to the Code of Silence, which, in my opinion, is one badass submission move. James. Oh,
Yeah, don't talk to me. I don't even want to. I don't even want to talk about it.
Okay, fine. You know what? I'll let us gloss over this match. But one of you, I don't care which one of you has to say Mela is money, or I'm going to just talk about Mela for 3.5 hours. Mela is money. Styles and Naka.
My issue with Mela going over Charlotte clean is we all know I love Asuka, but Charlotte went over Asuka clean. Now does this all of a sudden mean that Carmella can go over Asuka clean?
Oh my God. That's like, okay, and you and James both last week shit all over the Iconics, and that's their philosophy. That A plus B equals C deduces down to E.
On occasion it does.
Here's the thing. Nobody should be mad that a champion cleanly beat the challenger.
So last year we should have all been happy about Jinder fucking Mahal.
He won clean. Yeah, sure, fine.
But he didn't. He had the Singh brothers almost all the damn time.
Okay,
yeah,
so
she's a heel. Clean. She's a heel. She's not expected to win like that. Charlotte went from being the champion, the queen, the best on TV to getting her ass kicked by two newcomers, the Iconics, losing her belt that way, and now she's losing clean to somebody that they chant you can't wrestle at.
Okay, but I'm going to say this. There's also a 16-time world champion that they chant you can't wrestle to as well. But not a damn person. Say this. I'm not a damn person.
If you're on my side, shout out James Enigmatic at James Enigmatic. If you're on the pop side, it's Uncle P 2009, and I want to vote because I win, you lose. Charlotte's better. She didn't deserve that.
Listen, I'm not saying that Charlotte's not the better wrestler.
So you're saying she's not a better wrestler?
No, Charlotte is the better wrestler on the show. But the fact is that y'all are mad that a champion cleanly won. You'd be more pissed off if the Iconics would have came in on it. And you're like, oh, goddamn, Charlotte doesn't deserve that shit. But guess what? Last year she was the heel champ. Just say Mela's money so we can go to Styles and Naka.
I wasn't really pissed off about it, but I did have my jaw on the floor. I'm like trying to crank my jaw up because I can't believe Charlotte just lost clean like that.
You know what? Did you see the look on Charlotte's face? Because she didn't believe that she got beat clean like that either.
I know.
But you know what? I just am mad that she couldn't come down to a champ's level and, tap out.
No, I'm super glad she didn't do that.
Fine, here you go, Pops. Nola's money.
Thank you. Moving on.
Then we had AJ Styles versus Nakamura for the WWE Championship going to a no contest. Here's the issue that I had with this match. It's supposed to be no DQ. How the fuck can you have a 10 count in a no DQ match? They've never done that before.
Well, because they've never had two people kick each other in the nuts before.
I'm sure they have.
Here's what I think. The base of the entire match was they did have a good match. The guys put on a great story. They had some great moves in it. But the commentators and the referee, if you watch wrestling like we do, you saw that coming from a mile away.
Oh, absolutely.
They ruined it because the commentators, they get knocked out of the ring and automatically the referee starts counting. I'm sitting here thinking, you don't count them out. It's no DQ. You can go back in the boiler room if you want to. And then the commentators are like, oh, they're counting him out, this and that. And I don't know. I just saw it coming. But the double nut kick was very well choreographed. I'll give them that.
Yeah, it was definitely entertaining. Hurt me, but it was entertaining as hell.
See, but we have this problem a lot with WWE. They fail to remember that this audience that they're trying to direct themselves to, this quote unquote mainstream, isn't their core fans, and the core fans we know. We know that you don't count someone out in an ODQ match. That's like saying, I'm going to count somebody out in a freaking street fight. Why? We know that's not right.
Yeah, I hate when they play fast and loose with their own fucking rules.
Yeah. I mean, but what I want to say is, I don't know, guys. I know I'm a 37-year-old fat guy from Wisconsin, but AJ Styles, and I think I'm going to say something we all can agree on. AJ Styles at 41 years old is the absolute best full-time wrestler in the entire world today, tomorrow, and until he decides that he does not want to be anymore.
100%. The only one that, in my book, could come close would be Daniel Bryan.
Well, see, I would say Seth Rollins would be in the conversation, but yeah, you're right.
Those are definitely the top three.
AJ carries himself completely differently, though.
Absolutely.
Right. But I don't know if you caught this. I just have a couple little notes, but there was a spot where AJ chopped Naka, and Naka kind of just wiped his chest off, and he kicked AJ. AJ hit the second rope and bounced off so hard and hit the mat so hard that it was like, holy shit, that could have really knocked him out. He had literally 2 feet of space to pull that bump off. And it was probably one of the best bumps I've seen in a ring in a long time. And I don't know about you guys, because you guys might be manlier than me, but when he threw that chair at Nakamura and it bounced back and nailed him in the face, and he had to keep going, that was not choreographed.
No way in hell.
That man had to keep working.
Right.
I would have just laid there crying like a bitch. I'm not gonna lie.
Same here.
Because had to, they kept showing him, nah, that didn't hit him, that didn't hit him. And then they showed that slow-mo, I'm like, oh my God. That damn near took his cheek off.
Right.
You know how hard it is to cut your cheek across like that?
Yeah, it's nuts.
God. He's lucky he didn't lose his teeth.
Yeah, it's not like smashing your finger and getting a little blood or something. I mean, he cut his cheek across.
Yeah, that bruise on Tuesday was nuts.
I was like, I've never, I've seen some things like that, but I was like, holy shit. And I didn't care for the double nut shot. It looked cool, but the best part of that is at the point of impact, if you look up and you look at the ref's face, that sold it all for me. Because he had this look like, oh, they actually did it. Oh, yeah. But yeah, that's...
So, as far as did you write this shit, bro, how do you all think this is going to culminate?
Sorry, don't speak English.
It'll eventually culminate, and I'm going to call it right now, at SummerSlam with Nakamura taking the title.
Do you think that AJ is going to be wearing a cup at any point? He's going to get no-sell the move and pull his cup out or anything like that?
That's honestly what I hope happens at some point between now and SummerSlam, is Nakamura goes for a nut shot, hits the nut shot, AJ turns around, smiles at him, reaches down into his trunk. Got one. I got you, fucker.
Okay, but guess what's going to happen in that same match? Naka's going to be wearing one too.
Probably.
This is something... I want to finish on a pay-per-view.
Same.
Okay, but I understand that the need for it, but the fact that we got 2 wonky-ass finishes in 2 weeks on 2 pay-per-views, it just didn't do it for me. I want to finish. I hope that this whole ordeal is over by SummerSlam, really. I hope they end it at freaking Money in the Bank. But how do you end it? They both got counted out. They both got counted down. So what's next? Hell in a Cell? There's not really anything to put them in a cell for.
Ladder match. Spend the title.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I was sitting here trying to think. I'm like, what are they going to do next? Because, of course, their DQ match wasn't really a DQ match.
No.
We may see, you don't ever see lumberjack matches anymore. I kind of doubt that because neither one of them have heat from the locker room. I don't think you'll see a ladder match, TLC, anything like that, not even a cage. I don't know. You think we'll see something...
title on a pole match.
Reminiscent of not a casket match, but something, a gimmicky thing like that, maybe?
Yeah, you would think that we would, but knowing the state of WWE, we'll probably just get a regular match with a regular finish, and it'll all be for like, eh.
Well,
Yeah,
I'll be fine with that too. If they put on a great 30-minute long match and AJ
Right.
wins with the forearm, fine.
Yeah. If they put on a great 20, 30-minute match, sure. But if it's like a ho-hum 10, 15-minute match, to me, that's just going to screw everything they've done up to that point. It's going to make it almost like the month before Mania with Cena. It all didn't matter at all.
Right.
You know?
Honestly, if we don't get a ladder match, what I want to see, and I know technically we're supposed to get a 60-minute Iron Man match, we'll probably get a 30-minute Iron Man match.
You know, I could dig an Iron Man.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Especially
But I
for
don't
those two.
I don't like 30-minute Iron Man. That's not Iron Man. I want to see a Broadway.
Same here, but that's what they do nowadays is the 30-minute Iron Man. Then we had Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley defeating Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in a tag team match.
Yep, it was what it was.
It was a match. I really did.
Why do we have to break up Sammy and KO? They're like the best thing going on Raw as far as heels. Why do we have to take? I don't get it.
Yeah, and I don't know that they are. I mean, I think they're trying to ultimately turn KO face. That Sammy is going to be the prevailing heel from all this because there's been multiple times where he has he's put with KO, you know, he's turned him, manipulated him. That's what I was trying to think of. You know, like the whole thing, like if we're the last two guys, I'll lay down for, you know, that bullshit. And then, you know, jumping ahead, you know, the thing they done on Raw. But I don't know. I mean, that entire match was just about the KO Sammy story, which I feel bad for Braun, and Lashley is going to be over before he even gets started.
Oh my God, I can't believe you just said that.
Can't believe I just said what?
Bobby's gonna be over before he starts. Bobby, I can't stand Bobby Lashley.
Well, he's got the guy's got no fucking personality.
Well, no, I know. I'm not saying he's going to be over like wrestling over. He's going to be finished before he gets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're on the same page then. Okay.
Come on, Pop. Come on, Uncle P.
I'm sorry.
Come on, Uncle P, 2009.
I'm sorry. As soon as I heard Oliver, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, we get this long silence from Pops. He's like, I can't believe you just said that. Like, what? What did I do? But yeah, I mean, they're not doing anything with him. They're, you know, you throw him out there with Braun, he looks small. Why are you putting Bobby Lashley in a position to look small?
Try to get him over with the fans. Honestly. Honestly, that's what they're trying to do. Because, I don't know. He just doesn't, he's never worked for me. I don't know. I don't know how to say it or explain it, but that whole thing has just never done anything for me.
Well, I think part of, at least the way I perceive it, the Pops, is your issue with Bobby is the fact that he comes off as a low-rent Brock Lesnar, and you can't stand Brock Lesnar right now, so you're really not going to stand Bobby Lashley.
But I can get behind Lesnar because he actually has wrestling moves, and his suplexes actually look legit, whereas Bobby's just don't, like, his moves don't do it for me. The stupid standing suplex, that was cool when I was a kid, which I guess I shouldn't take that away from other little kids now. But it was kind of cool when I was a kid. I'm like, man, that blood is rushing to his head. He's going to just bounce off that man. He's going to be hurt. You know, it was cool back in the day. Now, for me, it's just not. And then he's got a spear.
That he uses way too much.
And what else? What else is there? There's nothing. We've already spent 5 minutes too long talking about Bobby Lashley.
All right, and then we've got Roman Reigns defeating Samoa Joe. Because why?
I just had a question for Mr. James here. I know that you don't really care for Seth Rollins' suicide dive. What do you think of Joe's?
Well, Joe...
That man can fly.
Yeah, man.
That dude's a fucking jumbo jet.
He does things that I do not envision someone of his size doing.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't make it look like shit like most people his size. You know, it's not like a novelty thing for him. It's an actual move he's probably practiced over and over and over. Yeah, he's a monster of a dude, man.
But, hey, let's just kill him and let your little bitch beat him on pay-per-view, right?
Yeah,
that sounds like a great freaking plan, WWE. Keep him in the title picture. Jesus.
I didn't expect Joe to win it or to lose it like that. But I'm going to say this. I am so freaking sick and tired of the Superman punch. Screw that move, man.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think, Mort, you posted something where, like, you heard that WWE's trying to turn Roman into some kind of a 2018 Daniel Bryan. If that is the case, then they should have had some kind of goofy finish to this match instead of just letting him get hit. Oh, my God. I'm sorry. I can't even talk about it. I'm so angry right now.
I would agree with you, other than the fact of what did we get last Monday? Roman fucking bitching about backstage politics. Really, dude? You're the benefactor of backstage bullshit.
Well, right, but we're not supposed to know that.
Unfortunately for WWE, fans like us, no thanks.
But here's the thing. What really makes me angry is you build Joe up to be this total badass. He beats the holy hell out of Reigns for the whole match, and then in the last 3 minutes, Roman comes back and beats him with a freaking, what did he beat him with, a spear? I don't even remember. Yeah. I was so mad.
One single spear.
Yeah, that's my one. Exactly.
And I'm sorry, but if you spear me, yeah, I'm going down. I'm like 6'1", 200 pounds. But you do not spear a dude with a core like an oak tree and put him down like that.
Right?
I didn't want to talk more.
I didn't even think that the match was going to happen after the beginning when he come out and was assaulting him there in the beginning. I was like already getting upset, like, they can't advertise this match and then not have it and all that. And then they went on and had it. So, yeah, they literally made Reigns the underdog by getting his ass kicked beforehand and then come back and win. And
I'm sorry, you can't make a guy Roman's size be the fucking underdog unless you've got somebody like Braun. Okay,
but here's what I was thinking this whole match. After the match got started, I was thinking, if I was in attendance at the pay-per-view, I would have went home happy and I know that I would have went to bed happy if that match never would have got started. Just let just Joe beat him up for 10 minutes. There was no need for that wonky ass, crappy pay-per-view. I'm sorry, there was good matches, but it was just another Monday Night Raw, in my opinion. There was no need for it to go 3.5 hours. None. And the only reason it did was so that Mr. Bum Bitch could get a full 20-30 match in. And you guys can talk. I'm done, because I'm just going to say a bunch of words that nobody wants to hear.
On the Monday Night Raw, Braun
told a really good story.
Yeah, we had Kurt Angle opening Raw.
Oh, we did? I just remember Braun's story.
Braun's story was pretty good.
I knocked the whole tree down.
So he committed murder of half a dozen kids.
They didn't die. They were just critically injured. It's not that big of a deal.
They were just maimed. They're okay.
Yeah, they're fine.
Well, what I liked about it most was KO saying, "You've been a bad monster. Bad monster."
Yeah. Go to corner. Yeah. But yeah, KO is funny. It's like he wants to tell off Braun, but he knows that he has to make it sound funny so that Braun doesn't just run out and just beat him, which he ended up doing later on anyway. But
because I think KO is smart enough that he understands Braun's a fast motherfucker and can catch his ass.
Well, yeah, and see, the thing that I like so much about Elias is something that KO does as well. They have that dry humor. They're delivering punchlines or they're saying something funny with a complete, just straight look on their face. So, I mean, that's funny to me is he's yelling "bad monster" at Braun Strowman with complete seriousness.
Right, trying not to crack a smile. It is great. After the opening segment, we had a match, Strowman versus KO, as a qualifier for the Money in the Bank ladder match in 6 weeks.
I thought KO going for trying to get the count-out win was brilliant.
Yeah,
absolutely.
KO put on one hell of a match. I mean, and he's had some impressive matches, but it seems like it would be so hard to have a believable match with Braun, and he done a great job. I mean, I don't want to say he really carried that match, but he made it worth watching. The shoulder tackles.
The runarounds.
Braun's shoulder tackles are awesome, and KO taking them is awesome. The only problem with this entire ordeal is that WWE knows that they're awesome. So they're going to be running the ground before the next pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
The other thing that I thought someone else would mention is we had a ref get knocked down, and he didn't sell it for 20 minutes. He actually got back up right away.
Yeah, sure, he fell down, but he didn't. He wasn't a fucking leaf.
Yeah, he fell down, but he got up again. Or wait, no, he got knocked down, but he got up again. Jesus.
Who is that? Chumbawamba?
Yep.
That was running through my head too, but I refrained because I know we have to.
But I don't know. Big shocker here. Braun won that match.
So what's Braun going to do in a ladder match?
Kill everybody.
Kill bitches.
He's going to get on that second rung, just like you were talking about it the other day, and reach up and get it.
I'm just
right.
He's the only one.
Guy tall enough.
He's the only one that can get a step ladder and win. I love it.
Right. Yeah. Watch for comedy, because we all know WWE likes to do comedy with Braun. They're going to get like a 6-inch ladder and have him step on top of it
and try to get it. Like,
yep.
I can't. I can't wait.
Did you read this shit, bro?
I don't know, but I wish I did, because him being in the Money in the Bank ladder match is the only reason right now I care to watch that whole pay-per-view.
All right, and then we had No Way Jose and Titus Worldwide versus the Revival and Baron Corbin.
Yeah, we did.
And once again, why is Titus Worldwide now affiliated with Jose?
Because Jose is entertaining and Titus Worldwide is not.
I thought he was. I mean, I like him doing his thing, and I thought that maybe he would try to pull Jose into his fold, and now it's like Jose's got him in his without even trying.
Because they all love the conga line.
At least they added Dana Brooke to
it.
Well, and
still too much of a sausage fest.
Something I did hear about, and I've read about this in the past, about, I can't just go to an independent wrestling show and say I want to be a manager. You have to get a manager's license to work, to be there. So what about this conga line? Are all these guys...
My understanding is the way things like the conga line work, or the Occupy Raw from a few years ago with Daniel Bryan, is WWE puts out some sort of casting call for independent actors in the area and gives them a single payday.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking like, there's actually real rules and laws to sports entertainment and the business.
No.
And the Occupy thing, that was a one-off. But they're staying out there for the entire match. This conga line is.
You killed your point in one sentence. You can't go to an independent wrestling show and be a manager without a license, but you can do whatever you want in sports entertainment. You don't need those licenses. I don't even think they need the State Athletic Commission anymore.
Nope, because they're sports entertainment. They're not pro wrestling.
Yeah. That's a different... I mean, they had the hose in the back. I mean... From listening to Bruce, I guess they used to just go to Hose R Us and get some hose.
I don't know. I'm going to look into it, because I'm pretty sure they do have to abide by certain rules.
Well, yeah, I'm sure they've got some rules, but unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, WWE is an entirely different classification.
You know what? I think we missed, and this isn't a big deal or anything, but I love Goldust, and he had a little Money in the Bank vignette or something in the back, and he got to do his. It's like every time I see him, I'm just waiting on him to do that. And maybe I'm the only Goldust fan left. I don't know, but I love that guy.
I love Goldie. Goldie's great. Then we had Ember Moon, Sasha Banks, and Ruby Riott in a triple threat qualifying match for the women's Money in the Bank match, which Ember Moon won.
How cute is Liv? And that girl, I just want to pinch her cheeks. Hey, little cutie. She's so cute.
Yeah, her cheeks.
Sure, Pops.
I I don't have a whole lot to talk about this match other than the fact that, I mean, there are a lot of interesting things happened. I don't know if you guys caught, you remember the spot where Sasha went off the top rope onto the Riot Squad, okay? And then Ruby kicked Sasha, but then Sasha landed right on Liv's face. Did you catch that? Like, just flat backed on her face, man.
Yep.
And, like, Liv moved over and kind of gave Sasha that look like...
Yeah, I didn't have an issue with the match, or even, honestly, who won the match. My issue was after the match, and this backstage promo that Ember Moon cut with Renee Young in the back after the match. Her promo style does not match the character that she's trying to portray.
Isn't she too... She's too friendly, or she's too cute?
Exactly. She's too bubbly. She's too positive.
She's too proper. She's supposed to be a frickin' she-wolf.
Exactly. Or as Corey Graves put it, she-nom.
Yeah.
God, I hated that.
See, like, my thing is, like, okay, I don't want to skip too far ahead out of this match, but the Riot Squad, to me, and I'm going to brag on them again, but they are the best heel team since the Miztourage. I mean, they came in and broke up a pinfall again. That's what you're supposed to do if you have your team out there, not just watch everybody lose. And the Eclipse, the hitting the Eclipse out of nowhere was freaking awesome. I love this match.
Like I said, I didn't have an issue with the match itself. I had an issue with the promo after the match.
Well, here's the my takeaway from it, and it's going to be a pretty high praise for these women. I think that Ruby Riott, just from the short time I've watched her, I think she is one of the most creative in the ring. I think Ember Moon is one of the most athletic, maybe even the most athletic. And Sasha Banks, she might be the best all-around women's wrestler right now, or as far as entertaining goes. And all three of them in this match put on an incredible show, just over and over. They didn't miss a spot that I saw. I think that matches like this, between women like these, this is raising the bar. This is setting the bar and raising the bar each and every time they go out. And sometimes I don't even know how they're going to top it. Like, we just had this match on Raw. What are they going to have at SummerSlam? What are you going to have at Survivor Series? Because these chicks just burn the house down.
Well, can you imagine eight of these women in one ladder match? Can you imagine the spots we're going to get out of that?
That's going to be fucking awesome.
The only thing I didn't like a lot, and I know I cut you off like the second time, but the double Eclipse, I didn't think that worked real well. I mean, I'm glad they tried it, but I hope I never see that again.
Well, unfortunately, it's something that it's not the first time that we've seen the double Eclipse. They pulled it off a bunch of times in NXT. And the fact that they've brought it up to the main roster means we're going to see it a lot.
Oh, we're going to see it in Money in the Bank. But it's going to look really cool because it's going to be off of a ladder.
Yeah.
You know, I think that, you know, like you said, Ember Moon being very athletic, I think that Ember Moon is what they really wanted out of Naomi. I think, but Naomi's, I don't know how to describe Naomi, but anyway, so yeah, awesome match. I know we're not supposed to take a lot of time, but can I just get everyone's opinion on the frickin' Lashley interview with Renee Young? What the fuck?
Yeah, that was my what the fuck moment for the night.
She wants to know about him, and he talks about his sisters. And I couldn't even tell if he was telling the truth or not. It looked like he was making up the story as he went along.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. He didn't seem genuine at all. But the video package was good.
Yeah, but then at the end he's like, I just want to say one more thing. And I'm like, okay, you're going to say something like, and hey, I love my sister. Shout out to my sister. I know she doesn't listen, but whatever. But why? You just told a 15-minute story about your sisters. Why do you have to say hi to your sister? Like, seriously. Oh, my God.
Your whole promo was about your sister.
All right, everybody, I want to tell you again about the company that we're working with called Smart Mark Clothing. It's a clothing line dedicated to providing fashionable clothing for wrestling fans. They are not just going to hire a list of high-profile wrestlers to endorse the crap product that they try to peddle to wrestling fans. All of their lines will be designed for wrestling fans by wrestling fans.
All right, then we had Chad Gable versus Jinder Mahal.
Yeah, we did.
Mahal won this match.
Moving on.
Well, I mean, honestly, I didn't write anything down about it. I don't really remember anything special.
Yeah. All I wrote was, why squash Gable?
Because creative has nothing for him.
Yep.
When is Jason Jordan supposed to be coming back? Sometime soon, right?
If they bring back American Alpha, ugh. Ugh. Gable has what it takes to be an actual star.
Right. They're just not letting him at the moment.
What was next? P squared, Drew and Dolph.
Yep.
Versus Rhino and the Babymaker.
Because he's got kids.
Rhino and the Babymaker got destroyed on that one. Anything else? Anybody else have anything?
That was somewhere in there was when KO and Sami Zayn had their backstage thing. And that's when Sami Zayn kind of talked him back into being his friend or something.
Yeah, that was before the gender match.
I mean, that's going to be a pivotal thing going forward. I don't know. I said a while ago that Sammy was going to be the overall heel going through it, but the more I think about it, maybe KO will befriend him and then turn on him. Right? I don't know what's going to happen with this.
I can see Sammy getting the sympathy and KO not. I mean, because let's face it, you guys aren't, big kind of overweight dudes. It's kind of hard to feel bad for an overweight dude, but it's pretty easy to feel bad for, the guy who's
undersized.
I don't know. Yeah.
But I really hope they don't turn Sammy babyface anytime soon, because I love heel Sammy. Because just his music that he had as a babyface and the way he's using it now as a heel is just fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Then we had Bobby Roode versus Elias.
Yeah, and then Bobby won, but I don't really remember much about the match itself, to be honest with you. It really wasn't.
It was a good match, and, it's hard to think that you're going to put like a 6'1" guy in there, 6'2", however big Bobby Roode is, built like he is, and make him look like an ant. Because Elias is a huge dude. Dude, he has the moves, he has the voice, he has the charisma, and he's a massive human being.
Yeah, I definitely like the way Elias is maturing on the main roster, because I saw him when he was on NXT, and I didn't see this type of charisma coming out of him.
I hated seeing him lose, though. Now, here's one other thing about him. You know how I am about the entrances and the music and everything. Have you all ever heard his music, like, after he wins? It's just some generic...
It's generic Wrestle Number 2.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you never see his entrance or his music entrance because of what he does, which is cool. I'd rather have that than a real entrance, but it would be he needs to go the way of Shawn Michaels and John Cena and do his own song or something.
Yeah, I can definitely co-sign to Elias doing something in the studio and being his own creator of entrance music.
I wonder if I could get JoJo to do my intro for this show. Ladies and gentlemen.
You'd have to talk to Bray Wyatt first.
Pops. That would be so freaking cool. That would be cool.
Yeah, and I forgot about that from Backlash. Yeah, she did it like 5 times, and that
it
cracking up
cool every time.
All right.
Yeah, every time it sounded cool. She got. Well, we can talk about that off air.
All right. Next thing I've got listed is Seth Rollins versus Mojo Rawley.
Wait. I know. Whatever. What in the? What was he talking about? The Miz was Miz was a heel champion. I get it. Seth is a face champion. But you can't just go on live TV and take a title that the Miz just spent well over a year making the number 1 title on Raw and say, I'm going to make this title prestigious again. You son of a bitch. I was so upset. I'm telling you.
I was waiting for the pop
cursing. I was cursing at the TV. I was cursing in my head. I had to scribble out a bunch of curse words on my notepad. But I was like, you know, who in the hell do you think you are? Because I get it. You're a baby face. You're supposed to say that. You're supposed to say Miz was this and Miz was that. But don't try to act like you're now the one that's going to make the Intercontinental title something special. Because if the Miz didn't hold it and fight for it and get it back, every time he did, it would mean nothing. Because it would just be another passed around title like the U.S. title is now. And that title hasn't meant anything since frickin' Cena had it. Or maybe KO. But, I was so pissed. I'm like, you guys couldn't come up with something better for him. I mean, seriously?
Who does he think he is? He's Seth freaking Rollins, and he's gonna burn it down.
Yeah, well, F him. It's fire pan.
Well, I want to know how you really feel. I'll talk to you later. But who is tired of seeing Mojo?
I'm not. I'm just tired of this incarnation of Mojo.
Maybe you're right. I mean, I'm not against second chances or 10th chances for that matter, but yeah, I'm tired of his whole spiel. I'm tired of his entrance. I'm tired of his moves. I'm tired of seeing Jim Duggan 2.0 out there without his freaking 2x4. Give the guy a 2x4 and I'll be happy with it, I guess.
My issue with Mojo is that he's the prototypical jock that they've made into a wrestler.
Yep. I mean, hell, the guy's a former Green Bay Packer.
That sucks for him, too, right away, because the Packers suck! Anyway, but they haven't done really anything creatively with him. I don't know what kind of creative depth he really has for them to work with, either. So, just it's like...
Everything Raleigh has is famous football friends. That's it.
Well, not only that, but he's like local guy, local jobber that they put a microphone in his hand. Basically, he's like a big version of a local jobber. He's like Jacques from Canada.
Well, but how is he not? How's he not on NXT? He would do much better on NXT, I think.
He got called up way too early.
Yeah, he got called up with Zack Ryder, and Zack couldn't carry him any longer.
The only thing I like about him is when he's standing over top of somebody, he's got his shoulders rolled forward, he's looking down at him, and he has this look on his face like, I'm about to do something really bad to you. The only problem with that is KO already does it better.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not only that, but he looks at him like he's going to do something bad, but then he puts his shoulders back and he immediately forgets what he was going to do. It's like,
he's got the memory of a goldfish
or a gnat.
He's just trying to figure out where Bobby Lashley's eyebrows are.
Actually, one of my notes there, James, is it literally says, "Ask James about Seth Rollins' suicide dive that he did twice during this match."
Right.
Yeah, and Corey even touted it. He's like, he's so athletic, he can land on his feet. Yeah, that's not a suicide dive. Call it a Rollins dive or something.
Okay. And then, I don't know if you guys have anything left about the match itself,
no.
So I'm going to let you go. Okay. But then, my favorite new bitch, did you see what he did after the match? He grabs the title, he starts swinging around like he's the ultimate freaking warrior. What the frick? Like, oh, God.
It's not the first time he's done that, though.
What is he doing? Is he banging Dana Warrior or what? Like, what? I mean... I hope not for his sake, because that would just ruin him even more for me. But I just, in one night, he got so much heat from me that I could.
I'm going to back up for a second. Something that we missed, and actually I think this is what you were referring to as far as promo on Backlash there, James, is Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel with The Miz, and them saying that they're not part of his crew anymore, and actually growing a set.
Yeah, and that entire, and that's something else Miz is just great at, because Bo Dallas does not need to be the lead man in a group. He just doesn't have it yet. I don't know if he ever will, but Miz carries that. But yeah, that was, not that I didn't see it coming, but it was interesting.
All right. I mentioned that because the next thing that I've got listed is Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt versus Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. Hardy and Wyatt won.
Okay, the best part of this match for me was Corey screwing with Michael Cole the whole time. Because Matt Hardy has been tweeting Michael Cole all of this, like calling him obsolete mule and telling him he's going to introduce him to the wheel of chair, or the chair of wheels, and all that. So Corey just going all out with the whole woken, like he's a woken announcer, was just great because he was like, "Didn't you see the hieroglyphics? They've been tag team partners for centuries." And Cole's like, "No, they haven't. They've been partners for 2 months."
It was great.
Like I don't know. The best part of the whole match was them, and then in the beginning trying to figure out what the Miz Siraj's new name is. I don't know. The match itself didn't really go for me.
Yeah, just give. I'm not sure if you can do this now because of this match, but maybe you can a month or two down the road. But give Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas to Matt and Bray as Woken Warriors.
Well, okay. Here's the thing. Did you catch when Bray kicked Bo off the apron right towards the end there before they gave the tandem Sister Abigail?
I must have missed it.
Michael Cole said, "Well, that's not much for brotherly love." I'm like, come on. Nobody
I'm
wants
just trying
to
to figure out, and I need to Google this before I forget it, but how does Bray wash his hair?
He's got dreads. They don't.
You don't wash your hair?
No.
Do y'all? Huh. Well,
it's nasty shit for months, sometimes years, yes.
Well, I'm sure they use like a dry shampoo. I don't know. I'll Google that while we're talking about it.
All right, and the last thing that I've got for Raw is Reigns versus Sami Zayn versus Finn Balor in a triple threat match that was a qualifier for the Money in the Bank ladder match, which, surprisingly enough, Roman Reigns didn't fucking win. Sorry,
but he couldn't lose it clean, could he?
Of course not.
And I was saving this for this. Roman Reigns needs saving, and he needs saving by the person that's trying to save him. The only thing that I think can come out of his mouth that's going to save him is when he's out there giving a promo, he finally gets his word in from the crowd, and he says something like, "I'm in this spot not because I earned it," or something along those lines like, "Yeah, I've headlined 4 WrestleManias in a row. Yeah, I've done all this because
Vince wants me to."
Maybe, a heel turn. I mean, I know people have been screaming it forever, but he needs to roll his personality of, "Hey, I'm earning this, and I'm getting screwed," and all that, into the exact opposite. And imagine the way they're booing him now. If he actually really turned heel, he'd be the biggest heel in the damn company.
And then next year he'd be the biggest babyface. We've been saying that for 5 years. Okay, real quick, the look on Roman's face at the start of the match when he looked at Sami was not a babyface look.
No,
that was a look of a man who thought he was above being in the ring with Sami Zayn.
Absolutely.
And Sami Zayn can wrestle circles around that bun boy bitch any day of the week. If he had double pneumonia and hemorrhoids and a broken foot, he could
always
hemorrhoids
better.
Well, I don't know. But he could wrestle better than Roman.
Hashtag bun boy bitch.
Hashtag bun boy bitch. Anyway.
I was surprised that Balor won. He has the same reaction whether he wins or loses anyway.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Balor, I thought that maybe he was a little, not that it matters, but I thought he was kumsi kumsa, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently he's dating like Kathy Kelly or Charlie Caruso.
I did not know that, but I also had heard the rumors for a couple of years now at this point that he was all-inclusive, let's say.
Well, whoever he was at Hall of Fame with, apparently he's dating her.
Oh, wow.
Supposedly. I know
he did do, I think he done a coup de grace to the floor in this match. That was pretty sweet. I do like that move.
Yeah, I just would never, ever want to be taking that damn move, because I'm sorry. Yeah, he basically falls on his back, but you're still going to take probably a third of the man's weight on your chest. Fuck that.
No, I was just going to say the whole match, it's working around a forced story somehow or another. And I know they do it all the time, but sometimes it's just more transparent than others.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised that Fun Boy Bitch didn't win, because that's what I was expecting the entire fucking match.
Yeah. Hashtag thank you, gender. Well, I was just going to say that I would rather take a coup de grace from Finn than senton from Samoa Joe.
Oh, I agree.
Okay.
On to SmackDown, we open with Paige in the ring.
It was awesome.
Awesome.
I really love Paige's SmackDown GM. It's more than I thought I would, honestly.
She said a bunch of things. She said a bunch of stuff, and then we had a match.
But the thing about her, there is something about her. I think it's her confidence. Even at her young age, she is so confident with what she's saying, and she doesn't worry that somebody's going to disagree with her or something like that. We talked before about passion and how you get the vibe from somebody and things like that. And it's a shame she can't wrestle anymore, or at least for now. But she is definitely doing a standout job.
Yeah, I definitely like the fact that she's still on our TVs every Tuesday night. She's nice to look at.
She's so much more than that.
Oh, absolutely. She's definitely a great character. She's one of those that's the dark character that it fits, unlike Ember Moon.
Where'd you get off, Ember? For real.
Ember.
No kidding. So then we started off with Miz versus Jeff Hardy, and that gives Miz 2 awesome matches in 3 days.
First off, and this has been a mainstay for years, like even since JR said it, but I'm not buying it, and I haven't. Who decided that Jeff Hardy's nickname should be the Charismatic Enigma?
Probably Vince.
But second of all, who even thinks he's charismatic? I mean, I was looking through my notes the other day, and I even wrote down something about how he finally looked natural. He never looks natural when he's speaking. That's what I consider charisma, somebody that can talk freely and be comfortable with it, and he's not that.
Well, something that I've always heard about the two is Vince has always liked Jeff over Matt as far as the singles competitor. So that's why I say it was probably Vince McMahon that gave him the nickname the Charismatic Enigma.
Yeah, I just don't like it. Maybe it's just me. I mean, I just...
No, I can definitely see your point. It's definitely strange.
I just vividly remember JR calling him that. That's been a long time ago. He's been carrying this charismatic enigma for like 15 years, and I don't know, I just never... I'm gonna get pissed off like Pops over here.
We should all get pissed off like Pops.
It's fun.
Now, I'm gonna get pissed off on Twitter and start at Uncle P 2009. You ain't gonna believe this shit.
Yeah, and I'll get pissed off at Uncle P 2009 from DYWTSB.
You know what? Since we're touting things, y'all can KMA.
But as far as the match goes, one thing I do like about The Miz, since he dropped the Miztourage, is he's not such a chicken shit character anymore. And I know that was his portrayal. He was doing that on purpose. But seeing him actually get into a fight without running away, I like that. That was like the thing I liked least about him, even though I know it was on purpose. But seeing him in this match, just taking it on the nose, more or less, I think it is refreshing. But you're right. Yeah, he had 2 great matches in a few days. But there was one move that he delivered. It was a neck breaker through the ropes onto the apron, and Jeff took one hell of a bump. I mean, he just dead weighted, just right on the apron. And you can see it on Miz's face, like, I can't believe he just freaking did that. Jeff is surprising people like The Miz still yet.
Yeah, he definitely makes his opponents look like a fucking $1 million. Right, then we had Charlotte Flair versus Peyton Royce for a Money in the Bank qualifying match.
Okay, I know we're not doing backstage promos, okay, but you can't gloss over frickin' Sheamus in the back eating his Lucky Charms. You can't.
It's like the only thing that makes him happy.
Right. You can gloss over the fact that there's pancakes in their duffel bags.
No, I can't. You won't let me.
Yeah, you can gloss over Shinsuke doing an interview where he first said he can't speak English. Renee calls him out, so he has a perfect English, and at the end he doesn't know how to speak English again. You can't do that. I know we're on a time limit for Morpheus the Great, but you can't gloss over Sheamus eating his Me Lucky Charms. You can. I mean, he's a 8-foot mohawk having
leprechaun,
all white, red hair Irishman eating freaking Lucky Charms, and you want to go to Charlotte versus Peyton Royce. Okay, we can go there.
I love Sheamus, by the way.
Oh my God, me too.
Him and Cesaro have pulled off something that I never saw coming, because they were just Both of them are great, and them together is even better.
I just didn't like the tease. There was like a little breakup tease there, but I think Sheamus just needed an extra marshmallow, and then he was okay. Okay. Peyton looked really good against your favorite female athlete on SmackDown.
My favorite female athlete, or James was female? Favorite
Oh,
female
both of y'all were just riding Charlotte before.
Oh, here's the thing: is what's her name? Mickey and Peyton. Is that it?
Billy Kay.
Billy, and yeah. They're fine, whatever. They come out and they're kind of funny. But we only need one accent with lipstick, and she's the general manager. I don't try to pick on the women's appearances as much as I do the guys, just for obvious reasons. But I don't like their shorts. I don't like their outfits. I don't like their spiel. They are the iconic meh.
Jesus. Look, this is what I'm going to say, and I'm going to say shout out to our boy Wiener and his girl Shawbell from the Australia. But if that's what women sound like in Australia, we need more of them. Because, damn, like, you know who else we should bring back and make it the 3 iconic is Tennille Dashwood. What was her WWE name?
Emma.
Emma. Yeah, bring her back too. Whew. Yep.
Speaking of women coming in, I heard today that 2 other women from UFC are training with the WWE. The 4 horsewomen of the UFC.
Yep.
Are you familiar with them?
Vaguely.
Yeah. That's
one of them is
Shayna Baszler.
Well, you've got Shayna Baszler, Ronda Rousey. One of them is either the fiance or maybe the wife at this point of Roddy Strong.
Is that the blonde chick?
Yep.
Yeah, and then there's another one.
But yeah, I mean, I just heard today that they're both, and it's like a TMZ thing or whatever, but I'm taking it as truth. So
I wouldn't doubt it because they need something to save Rousey. Because again, our full-time athlete wasn't on Raw.
She was on Shark Week.
If she wasn't either beating up a shark or getting eaten by a shark, it don't matter.
No, she had prior obligations, but here's what I'm thinking is I'm hoping they actually do a full force women's faction. No Absolution, no Riot Squad stuff. I want to see like 5 of them in a Nation of Domination type thing.
Oh my God.
Or a Nexus type thing.
Nexus, okay. In 2018, we don't need forced racism.
Yes, I want the Nation of Domination, and I want them to hate men. Don't laugh at me. I'm being serious because Ronda Rousey even, she fought Triple H. That's the first man on woman match in years that I can remember. Anyway,
wow.
Lipstick.
I was really surprised to see Charlotte actually beat someone on SmackDown. But she did.
You're going to drive me to drinking.
Well, let's face it, the Iconics don't really mean anything right now. It's too early in their SmackDown career.
They mean something to me.
But honestly, Peyton didn't have a bad match. I did think she was kind of slow. It kind of go back to that nervousness thing. She's in there with Charlotte Flair, and I don't care who you are, you look up to her. So she was really trying hard not to botch a move. So that's a plus, but God, I want one of them to wear pants or something.
Well, I was just happy to see Charlotte get a win for her fans.
Shut up, Pops. Send your hate mail, DYWTSB@gmail.com to Pops.
Yeah, and please actually email us. We keep saying the email address every week, and nobody emails us. Even if you just want to tell me to F myself, I'm okay with that. Just give us, or hey, go and give us a 5-star review on iTunes or Google Play, and then tell me to F myself. I'm good with that, too. Just leave that 5-star review.
You can email us at DYWTSB@gmail.com. You can tweet us at DYWTSB or Uncle P 2009 or James Enigmatic.
Which I won't spell because I can't.
All right. Then we had Cesaro versus Xavier Woods.
Yep. You know what? I'm going to say one thing. Xavier is a lot better than I thought he was as a singles guy. He looked pretty good. That's about it.
Yeah, he did. And but Cesaro is really good too. I mean, you put those
Cesaro's
two guys
amazing.
so I mean, you put those two guys in a ring. It's, of course, really, you know, we talk about the Usos in New Day, but then you have Sheamus and Cesaro in the New Day. I mean, all these guys there's so much talent on the roster right now, and I think that's why guys like Kevin Owens that are so good, you know, they can't get the belt because there's so much great talent. But I've always loved that the super European uppercut.
Oh my God, that thing was vicious.
Yeah, and he blooded him with it too. So
Yep.
it was awesome.
But I like Xavier's Shining Wizard. He really hits that thing nicely. I know it's like one little tiny move in a match, but it's always been one of my favorite moves.
Speaking of the blood at the end of the match, I'm surprised they didn't shy away from it. They actually zoomed in on Xavier after the match.
Well, I think it was purpose though.
Right.
There's just a little bit of tooth blood.
But sometimes they don't. They shy away from even that.
Maybe they're making it is a PG show, but it wasn't like the Roman thing where his face was completely covered. You know, we can kind of handle a little lip blood.
All right. Even though it was already referenced by Pops, then we had Shinsuke in a backstage interview with Renee Young.
You know, I write my notes in order, so I don't know how you watch this show.
What I wrote down, or what I remember from that one, was him saying AJ's nuts.
Yeah, and so am I.
This long pause, but so am I. Like, okay, I see where you're going.
And then, sorry, no speak English. And Renee being the only person on the whole entire staff that could call him out does. That's why she's badass. Everybody else would have been like, okay, guess he doesn't speak English. Not Renee. And it's like, we've already heard you. You're going to conduct this interview, or I'm going to stand out here until you do.
I'm kind of starting to like Charlie, too.
Charlie's getting there.
Charlie's definitely not like a Gene Okerlund quite yet, but yeah, she's definitely better looking.
Something funny? Did I miss something?
I just don't know where the hell that came from. Anyway, Mandy Rose versus Becky Lynch. Woohoo!
That knee's fucking brutal. I know we say it time after time when we see it, but can that knee just be her finisher at this point, please?
Okay, I have to say something real quick before we shit on WWE for not recognizing that that's a badass move. This new entrance of hers, like with the sexy walk, like, it just didn't do anything for me. I was like, could you just get to the freaking ring so we can move on? Like she even looked uncomfortable doing it.
I think my issue with the entrance is the hazy bullshit on the edges of the screen. The out of focus hazy bullshit on everything other than her specifically. The edges of the screen were hazy and screwy.
Oh, I don't remember.
Well, see,
that.
that's the part I liked. I mean, it reminds you of Goldust, and he's one of the best entrances of all time.
And I wish they would put them two together. Like maybe Goldust could be her manager. Have like a 2018 version, just switch it around. I think that could be real cool.
Yeah, that could be doable, but I just don't ever see Goldust making it back to a main spot, even as a mid-card women's manager. As much as I love him.
He's 50-some years old. Oh.
But I don't... the match was really quick, wasn't it? Wasn't it like a 5-minute match or less?
Yeah. One thing that we should mention that happened just before the entrances is the growing tension between Paige and her former stablemates.
Yeah, which is why I don't understand, you know what I mean? Why the tension?
Just because I guess now she's got to act professional because she's in a management role.
Okay, but why, I don't know. It just seems forced and stupid to me. That's just my opinion.
There wasn't really a lot going on in SmackDown, doesn't seem like.
No, there's one more match to talk about.
Then we had Rusev versus Daniel Bryan for a Money in the Bank qualifying match.
I was surprised as hell that DB didn't win.
So was I.
Well, it kind of put me in mind of how The Miz beat Jeff Hardy. Because when that match was over on the Raw, I was like, thank God Jeff didn't win. Thank God he's not going to have to come off a 30-foot ladder onto 10 tables or some shit out of this match. Thank God Daniel Bryan, and of course, he very well still could. We have 6 weeks, guys. There's a lot that they can change. They can do whatever they want.
They'll probably take all the losers and put them in 2 matches and then figure it out. Somehow.
Yeah, very well could be, but Daniel Bryan doesn't need to be in that match. And of course, he may be healthier than 90% of the guys on the roster. I don't know, but seeing him in a match getting beat in the head with the ladder, because they would. They would crush his head in between a ladder or something.
Well, they're already kicking him in the back of the head like it's no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and throwing him on the apron and putting him in the Royal Rumble for an hour and a half. But it would be painful to watch him in that match.
I'm glad you brought that up about Hardy, too. Because I don't know. I saw a Money in the Bank ladder match live, and it's some scary shit when you're watching it live because you don't know what the hell is going to happen. I mean, it's scary as hell watching it on TV. Unfortunately, we all love it so much, so they keep doing it,
Because we're a bunch of sick fucks.
Very much.
Well, when it comes down to it, I mean, you have like your top pay-per-views, your favorites. You have most people WrestleMania, Royal Rumble. That's your top 2 in one order or the other. Some people look forward to SummerSlam, Survivor Series because they're one of the main ones. But is Money in the Bank the third? I mean, is that the one that's most looked forward to? It's not Hell in a Cell anymore.
Yeah, I don't know what other people are, but my favorite is Elimination Chamber, Mania, and then Survivor Series. But Survivor Series is kind of meh because they don't do Survivor Series like they used to do.
Yeah,
so every
you're
year,
a 57-year-old dude from Wisconsin.
57.
That's what you said, right?
No, I'm 37, asshole.
Oh.
Back in my day, uphill both ways in the
But
snow.
no, they don't do, like, the original concept was Survivor Series was brilliant, and then they just went back to just another pay-per-view.
How is the Royal Rumble not in your top 3, though?
It's top 5. It's just, like, Rumble, like, I don't know. I mean, Mania, I always like obvious. That's just obvious. Elimination Chamber is, like, one of my favorite gimmick matches. I like Survivor Series just because, I don't know how it used to be, I guess.
Because back in my day,
SummerSlam is there, and then maybe Rumble. I'm not, like, I like Rumble for the surprises, but the last couple of years they've kind of screwed the pooch on those too. So, I mean, maybe now, this year I really enjoyed. Maybe now with the addition of the Women's Rumble, it might climb up to maybe top 3. Anyway, Mark, what's your top 3 or 5?
You've got Mania because Mania is awesome. You've got Rumble, and it's either Hell in a Cell when they actually do it properly, or I also love Elimination Chamber.
Don't they have a TLC pay-per-view?
Do they, or wasn't that what Money in the Bank became? They change it all the time. Anyway, James, you wanted to add a new segment to the show.
Oh, I did?
Yeah. What was
That's
it?
like six beers ago. Well, it wasn't a new segment. It was the high and low point that we did after WrestleMania.
Yeah, we should definitely make that permanent at the end of the show. I like that.
I mean, as far as like looking at Backlash, and I'm not even going to think about Raw and SmackDown because really, as far as the Miz goes, he's my high point because, well, I said I'm not going to think about Raw and SmackDown, but looking what he did at Backlash, looking what he did through the week on his regular show, looking at his promos, they're talking about him on Raw, The dude is a big deal without being treated like a big deal. So, I don't know. That's The Miz, I'm not going to say he's my favorite, but he is one of the best in the business now. My low point is the bullying thing between Alexa and Nia. As funny as it is,
it's old.
It already is old. There's some things that and I'm not a big politically correct guy. Look, I'm from the South. I'm behind like a year on everything. Probably, I don't know. I don't know what I'm missing. But there's just some things you don't need to joke about. Because, there's been situations in my life where something terrible has just happened, and then I see it on Family Guy or South Park or something, and at that moment, it's not funny to me. Now, I can see how that may be funny, and out of context, but if you're sitting at home watching the wrestling while all your friends are at the skating rink or something like that, you may not find the bullying angle funny. And again, I don't want to jump on the politically correct train or whatever, but it just seems out of place. It's going to go too far, and it's going to wear out its welcome. But now that I brought you all down real good, what's your high and low point?
My high point is a tie between what The Miz pulled off this week and Carmella winning clean on Charlotte. Not to make you guys angry, but because it just showed me that someone in the WWE is confident in her ability to draw money as a heel champion. And really, in wrestling, what we need are heel champions. We don't need babyface champions because everybody knows that the whole scheme of thing is always the good guy chasing the bad guy to get, what's his or save the day, So those are mine. And my low point, which and we're going to sound like we were hanging out, was two things. Number one, the attempt to save the bullying angle at the end of the match with Nia's promo. While I feel, and I can almost positively say that she meant every word of what she said to the little girls and everybody she was talking to, it felt fake and it felt forced and it felt written. That and it's something else that was my low point too, but I guess it wasn't that bad.
Well, you get a brand new Melibration next week.
Yeah, I hope it's better than the first one.
He gets a royal Melibration next week.
Yeah, it's going to be better than the royal wedding.
Just a quick note, her picture they're using in her splash screens, like her Versus screens, it's got to be like the worst picture ever taken of her. Have you all noticed that?
Yeah, it is pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, she looks like me.
No, she doesn't. You do not look like Carmella.
Every time you see her, you're going to think of me.
No, I will not. I will not. I will not allow you to do that to me.
Anyway, Moore, didn't mean to hijack you. What do you think?
I'm definitely going to have to agree with you guys. The low point is definitely this bullying angle, and just like Pops mentioned with Nia's attempt to save it. With a company that has an anti-bullying campaign that they publicly tout as much as they do, this company just flat out should not be going down this road, especially how hard they're going with it.
Sorry, I just saw Carmella's tweet from this morning, and it just made me think of y'all.
Yeah, made you think of me, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It says, "Good morning, trolls. What are y'all mad about today?"
And then my high point, Daniel Bryan winning by submission on Big Cass.
Yeah, it was nice to see that big off tap out.
Yeah, we really didn't even talk about that. I know he's had that move for a while, but I think it was just how big Cass is, how he had his arm in between his legs and it was wretched up like that. The larger size of Cass made that move look better. I'm sitting here just staring at it like, is that the same move? Because that is freaking devastating. I got my high voice on.
All right. That does it for the show this week. If you want to get a hold of us, email us at DYWTSB@gmail.com. Tweet us at DYWTSB or Uncle P 2009 or James Enigmatic. Talk to you all next week.
Peace.
See ya.
Tune in next week for our first ever interview here on DYWTSB with none other than the independent wrestler known as Grey Wolf. You're not going to want to miss it. Peace.